I was participating in a cooking competition when I discovered all the ingredients had been taken by the other chefs. As a woman, I could hardly compete with the male chefs. Unsurprisingly, I only ended up with some crushed tofu. I looked at the scattered ingredients I had gathered and realized I couldn't even start cooking. Even the fermented soybean paste for seasoning was insufficient. Just as I was worrying, I suddenly noticed some fresh vegetables nearby. It occurred to me that these vegetables could help treat the head judge's anemia, so I decided to use the vegetables along with the tofu to make a new batch of seasoning paste. A staff member saw me still standing there and looked confused. I explained that I had run out of seasoning paste. The staff member then quietly told me there was some aged vinegar in the backyard. By the time I retrieved the vinegar, the other chefs had already prepared their ingredients. I took a deep breath, closed my eyes, and calmed myself down. I suddenly remembered the pasta my father often made for me. I decided to make a pasta soup using the vegetables. My opponents were not only renowned chefs at the time, but they also cooked much faster than I did. Then I began preparing my dish. I quickly kneaded the flour into pasta noodles. I blanched the vegetables briefly. Then I mashed all the blanched vegetables. However, my actions drew scorn from the judges. They assumed I was going to give up, but I ignored them and focused on preparing my dish. I fried the tofu in oil, unlike the steamed tofu commonly used by other contestants. Only when I stir-fried the fried tofu to release its aroma did they realize I was making a tofu-based sauce to replace the seasoning paste. Before anyone could process what was happening, I had already finished preparing my delicious dish. Soon, the bell rang to signal the end of the competition. All the competing chefs completed their dishes. The judges first tasted the other chefs' dishes. They smiled with satisfaction and praised them as worthy of being among the world's top 10 foods. Then the judges started tasting my soup. But as the head judge looked at the soup, she suddenly burst into tears. That moment, I thought I had made a terrible mistake and felt scared. However, the head judge exclaimed that my dish reminded her of her deceased mother, and so I naturally became the winner of the competition.